All right, my lovelies, we are here in our Wise Working Women Amplified. And today we're going to go over all 7 chakras. We devote this full day networking retreat to helping each of you to get a little bit more clarity on where you're not feeling aligned, where you are feeling aligned, and how those two things can merge together to have this harmony. Many of us here that we're live in person, virtually, as I call it, in our virtual circle, we just aligned with our work-life harmony intentions. So I encourage you to see how the intention can actually support this next teaching tool. So I'm going to share my screen with some slides here, and we're going to get the ball rolling with all of this. Now, with this portion, if you have questions or anything, remember, message Nancy, as I won't be able to really check in on the chat. Nancy, if you do see something that's really important, just feel free to let me know. All right, my lovelies. So here we are. We are at Wise Working Women Amplified. And today I'm excited to explore a little bit more. You've probably already noticed a few of these things that I mentioned to prepare for your experience. I did say a journal, gonna be great for this portion. We've already used a few of these other things, but I encourage you throughout the day to make sure you have these things handy. These are the way that I do experiences. I wanna light that candle to set an intention. I always need to be hydrated. I'm the lady of many beverages. Essential oils are like my healthy addiction, as I call it. You know, having something like a journal there to always capture things can be really powerful, because this experience is just going to be the bullet point, the beginning of something else to come. So I encourage you today to jot down things and then maybe go back. We have some powerful dates coming up. We have a full moon. We have the 8/8 Lionsgate. August is really full of a lot of energy. So what comes today could be the start of something more. So I encourage you, after this gathering, find some secret time to explore the journal and see what new insights are in there. As well as we are here supporting ourselves in our work in our life, and I'm here as a guide for you, as well as a lot of this information, especially the next thing with the chakras of business, is intellectual property of Tracy's Total Wellness. So if it's something that you're interested in that you want to share, just make sure that you do receive some verbal permission from me. And here we go, my lovelies. So I'm Tracy, and my intention for this month is amplified. I use the month of August to amplify in many different ways. Amplify the experiences that I've already had that have been working, and also amplify my commitment to myself. August tends to be when I start to create more non-negotiables, what has been working and not working, and finally, you know, put my foot down. Where I like some of your intentions. Rita, you mentioned, you know, not always having to react to every single thing. For me, it's like, what do I need to do right now to thrive in my business and my life? Where our boundaries need to be made, and where am I wanting to either redirect or pivot in a powerful way, and making those decisions and then really sticking to them. So amplification for me is in many ways a full work life, well-rounded intention. And that's what we're doing this month in August, is amplifying. We're going to be amplifying everything that you've experienced since the beginning of the year. And we're going to shine a light in this teaching on what's not working. And today, ladies, you can finally choose to stop doing it. Finally choose something new. Finally choose something that aligns for you. Now, how I love to really connect deeper, and these are some essential oils that I'm actually going to be using for those of you that are here in the experience in our meditation that we're going to do after we do some teaching, are a few blends that I really, really love. You'll see later on in the day a little form. Nancy's going to throw the link in where you can learn more about oils, or if you have questions, how to infuse essential oils into self-care or into events, please feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. But the essential oils that we're going to be utilizing today that I love is Citrus Bliss, Breathe, Serenity, and Balance. And I'm going to go more into those when we go over the meditation piece that we're going to do after the teachings. So let's look at this graphic of the chakras of business. So many of you might be aware of the main chakras that we have. This is really a simple view into the chakras. We're also going to see how to use affirmations to start to align them a little bit more. And these affirmations are something we're going to use in our meditation that we'll go into a little later. But I'm going to review each of these chakras and how they're actually really connected to our business. I like to align the chakras of business and the chakras of life. There's something that I'm going to be rolling out really soon, which is a Wise and Well Women's Circle, where we're going to actually be exploring the chakras of life and how they can infuse in to your business, which I'll share a little bit more about later. But I find that if us as business owners can start to get out of our heads when it comes to our business and really dive deeper. I know one of your intentions, one of the women's intentions was deepen. So I give you the opportunity right now to deepen your connection to the messages of how this system might be able to help you feel more alignment in your business. We want that work-life harmony, right, ladies? So we're going to go from the top down because it's just the easiest way to view. And we're going to look first at our crown chakra. Our crown chakra is up above our head. And for me, especially in the connection to business, is trust. We do a lot of things as business owners, and sometimes we have no idea if it's going to work out. I have to trust each and every month that people are going to show up to this event. I have to trust, that the people that are on my team are supporting me are going to do the work. I have to also trust that the work that I'm doing is really has a purpose. It's meant for something. I'm not just doing this willy-nilly. So our crown chakra in business is really trusting in others. This could be trusting in our clients that they're going to show up and do the work, trusting that we're going to be able to manifest clients, trusting that maybe our marketing message is going to be heard, trusting that if we're really connected to our purpose in our work, that it is going to resonate with those it's meant to. So that's how I really connect the crown chakra with my business. This next one down is the third eye chakra. This is all about intuition. The chakra is actually found right in between your eyebrows. And this is different than the gut intuition that we're going to talk about in a moment. Our intuition in our third eye chakra is that wisdom. It's what I shared right at the beginning. That wise woman. We're going to be bringing her out today, that wise working woman. And her wisdom is found right here in the third eye. This is your intuition. This is for me in business. When I get those whispers that something is just not right, maybe I'm pushing myself to try and do an event that I really wanted to do because I think it's the right time, but I keep getting this message, no, Tracy, it's not. This is what's right for you right now. Or my intuition is telling me that this one client that I'm trying to get sign up, but she's having all these reservations, but my intuition's like, I don't think this is a good fit. But my mind is like, oh, but I could use the money. Well, you know what happens? She becomes a difficult client. So that's what I want to show you with the chakra of how it aligns with your business with intuition. Also, this is when I've gotten some amazing, powerful, like creative bursts in my business for programs. As I mentioned, the lovely Stacy's in my year-long program called the Sacred Sisterhood, where we join together for retreats, in-person and virtual. We have mastermind circles. We get one-on-one, they get one-on-one healing, as well as connect with the other women. It's a powerful experience. And I finally had to trust my intuition and say that this is the time. How often do we want to do something? We're like, I don't think people are going to sign up. I don't think people are going to like it. I don't know. Well, Sacred Sisterhood came from me trusting my intuition. And because of that, and then me using these two first chakras, Wise and Well Women's Circle, which I am opening up very, very soon at the end of the year, came from that. So for me, these two, the trust and the intuition, they really work a lot of times tandem. And I find if my crown chakra is really open and I trust, I can listen to my wisdom more. And it's when I make powerful business decisions. It's what, again, I'm going to come back to Rita's intention she mentioned. That's when sometimes I have to say, like, give me a moment. I need the pauses before I make decisions because I want to listen to her, my intuition, my wisdom. Next down below is our throat chakra. As business owners, we use this baby a lot. As people, we use this baby a lot. This is our expression. But in business, our throat chakra is extremely powerful and it can be overworked. I work with a lot of clients, and sometimes in one-on-one sessions, they're even like, Tracy, my throat chakra's off. Crazy things will happen, like they'll get the tickles in their throat. They actually get laryngitis. They can't talk. They get these tensions, and it always sometimes correlates with something. It correlates with them wanting to make an offer that's a higher price point than they've ever made. The tension in the throat chakra correlates with them finally wanting to set a boundary, maybe with a team member in their business. It correlates with them wanting to be maybe on Instagram or Facebook Lives more, but they're scared to do it. This throat chakra a lot of times talks to us in our business because it is our expression. And it is, for me, I think about it as like where the wine bottle kind of comes together. It connects, for me, the upper and the lower chakras in a way where they can express themselves. So for me, the crown and the intuition, if they're off, then I have a really hard time talking about my wisdom, right? I have a hard time sharing my gift, sharing that wisdom, sharing my intention. I have sometimes even a hard time saying like yes and no authentically. But then also, we're going to explore in a moment the lower chakras. Then sometimes if they're blocked, I find my throat chakra has a hard time. So if I'm feeling like I'm overwhelmed or I'm not grounded, then it affects my throat chakra. If I'm feeling like I'm not really self-expressed and I'm doing things because I had a business coach tell me I should do it that way, but I'm not feeling it's right for me, it affects my throat chakra. So our throat chakra, I find in business, can be affected if some of the other chakras are also out of alignment. So again, it's kind of where that wine bottle comes on up. There's a lot going on here. That's why I'm always recommending at events, have some tea, take care of your throat chakra, ladies, coat it with loveliness. After that, we go down to our heart chakra. This is obviously the energy of the heart chakra is love. As a business owner, we got to start doing things we love to do. Now, if they're just things that our mind is saying we're not comfortable with, meaning I don't want to be on video for social media marketing. I don't want to do these things. I don't want to show up at networking events. But we know that there are certain containers and structures and strategies that can help our business thrive. And we're just kind of either staying safe or being lazy. That's not what I'm talking about here. Because sometimes we do have to get out of our comfort zone a little to expand, as the image of the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. But there are certain things that we really have to love. And if we don't love them, why are we still doing them? Sometimes that might mean that if we don't love doing all of the tech, it's actually wasting our time and wasting our zone of genius to do the tech. We can invest in an assistant. I don't love editing. I seem to, always make these little errors with writing. Me and commas, we have a relationship. So I finally delegated that because you know what it started to do? It started to affect the thing I love to do, which was running the event or getting creative with the newsletter. And then I knew that I had to do all the editing afterwards. It started to kind of infiltrate what I love to do. So this chakra, I find, especially as business owners, we need to get really clear on what we love to do it more, get creative with it. I love events. It's why I do them. I use events as a business owner to be a really strong lead generator. And I'll pull in some business words here, ladies. It's part of my funnel. It's part of the way that I get clients because I love to do it. Now, I have other people that don't love speaking or doing events. They love to do a lot of their stuff virtually, and they run a majority of their lead and their funnel building through social media marketing. And they love it. They love to be on their computer more. They love to do it. They love to constantly run reels and lives and all that. I like it. I love it to a degree, but I love events. So for me, heart chakra in your business is what is your zone of genius? What do you love to do in your business? I love running these group programs with the women. I'm so happy the Sacred Sisterhood is rolling out, and I'm so happy the Wise and Well Women's Circle is going to begin soon because it's something I love to do. All right, let's move down to the solar plexus. This is right below your rib cage. When I'm guiding a lot of my clients or attendees at retreats or at experiences, especially even when I'm doing my virtual wellness sessions or in-person sessions, I focus a lot on the solar plexus chakra because it's actually housed right where your diaphragm is as well. Now, being a yoga teacher, I learned a lot about breath. And if our breath is off, it really does affect everything. The breath can be the catalyst for us having more clarity and making choices more powerfully. It can be the moment that our heart rate can lower. It helps us digest our food better. It helps with everything. So our solar plexus chakra is connected in the same space where our diaphragm is connected. So often we are living in the land of busy and overwhelm, and we breathe from our chest. I see this so much when I'm instructing clients with yoga. We chest breathe. Being a body worker for over a decade now, I see this in clients with a lot of neck problems and a lot of shoulder problems because when we breathe in our chest, we actually have to use our neck muscles to lift our rib cage up for our lungs to expand. And how often do we feel like we're not breathing? We're holding our breath, we're chest breathing. It causes so much tension in these little neck muscles that don't have the capacity to do that work for us. When this intense, this really robust muscle we have called our diaphragm does it really powerfully. So our solar plexus is our sense of self, but it can't start and we can't be there unless we're present. Best way to get present is to just breathe, ladies. It's that cliche phrase everybody says, but there's a reason why people keep saying it. Just breathe. When we can get present, we are connected to what works for us and what doesn't work. First, we have to get present, ladies. I find we get stuck in our heads a lot as business owners, the coulda, woulda, shouldas, the how can I do this? How can I do that? You know, it's why I start these gatherings with the work-life harmony. I think as women too, it's like, how can we, excuse me, juggle life and work? How can we get it all done? Well, if we pause and we breathe and we reconnect to self, everything's possible. So I encourage you this to be one of the most powerful chakras you focus on in your business. Pause, connect to yourself. What do you need to do to connect to yourself before you get on a meeting, before you make a sales call, before you write copy? What do you need to do so you can feel really connected to yourself? Create your sacred space for yourself. Do what makes you feel comfortable. You know, for me, I love the oils because they really connect me into self. I have a trampoline. I love kind of jumping on that sometimes before sales calls or something because it connects me back to self. Sometimes I'll do some mantras or meditations. But this chakra business is vitally important for the rest to work is you got to be present. All right, next is our sacral chakra. This is right in the sacral area, but also our chakras wrap around. So it's around the pelvic area too. So for women, it is in our power. It is in our state of pleasure for women. You know, when I do retreats, we go a little bit more intimately into the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is about pleasure. It is about fun, creativity, money, sex. It is about the stuff, ladies, but it is about that being authentic. And in our business, for me, I love that, Stephanie, your intention was a glow. You were bringing some fun into your intention word. Is we need to start infusing more pleasure into how we run our businesses. And we need to be open to creativity and fun. We need that childlike playfulness. We need to surrender. And to do that, there's one thing that I find important, and we're going to learn that as we have our experience today, is having the right containers to be vulnerable and playful out. My intention is Wise Working Women can be a safe container for you. It's why I run the other programs and why I do my work, is that we can feel safe in a container to be unleashed. When we are unleashed in our sacral chakra, but we're also very clear and holding ourselves of integrity with who we choose to share this with, that's when power can happen, ladies. I mean, that's when our businesses can catapult. That's when like these amazing ideas we never thought were possible can happen. That's when we can start manifesting the clients we wanted. That's when the good stuff happens. To feel safe to be in your pleasure, I find you need the right container. So really, in the chakra of business around our sacral chakra, it needs to be expressed in that safety. So I encourage you to maybe look at, are you in safe environments where you can actually thrive? Are you going to the right networking meetings? Are you getting the right trainings from coaches? Are you getting the right support? Are you, creating a really powerful calendar or schedule that allows you to have that? Or are you constantly being bombarded with distractions? So for me, when I look at my sacral chakra, especially this month of August, I'm looking at the leaks in my business that are letting in things in my structures that aren't allowing me to be this unleashed version of myself. It's also where things need to be pleasurable. So for me, I had a whole VIP session with my life coach, and we recreated my schedule. It was just starting to not work. Little things are starting to creep in. Like my schedule started to be way too overwhelming for me. I also just realized I needed time off after I was running these events. It takes a lot of energy to run events, but I love it. So I need to create the container because it's something I love. And so we just recreated my schedule now to give me the pleasure that I needed. And I've had to set some boundaries with people where it's like, I'm not available in the morning anymore. And you know what, ladies? When you set your boundaries and you say, yes, I would love to speak to you and I'm available at 2:00, what that really does is it opens the space for people to know when they can connect with you. So often we want to, let people tell us when it's good for them. No, 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 no. How can we create our own containers? So that's a little bit of an example for me. To have that pleasure that I needed in my business, to be in the right mindset, to do all of my marketing, my management, and also to be in the powerful space to do the work I do, which is powerful healing work. I need to be in safe containers that I can thrive in. And then last but not least is our root chakra. This is feeling grounded. And when I talk to the women, when we're, looking at this in our personal lives and our chakras of lives, this is the survival too. Like these are things that we need to feel grounded in. We need to feel that we are like that strong, stable tree. I love that, Joanna, your intention was rooted. So for you, I think there's going to be some root chakra, root chakra work here. To have a strong root chakra in our business means that we have to have the right things in play to allow ourselves to do the work we have. This to me is time management, ladies. For me as a business owner, the root chakra means time management. How are we managing our time? And this could look for you in many different ways. I practiced a long time ago quality over quantity when it came to many things, from events that I want to go to. And hopefully my intention is we'll see you at another Wise Working Women because you can feel the quality of this event. I really put a lot of work into the high quality of my events. But there's so many things we can do, right? There's so many options that I had to start looking at quality over quantity in work and in life. Because when we're managing our time, that also means that we have that time in our lives. There's also something to be said, especially for women, because so many other people want our time. This could be family, this could be friends, this could be others. And how often are we sometimes giving our time when it's not necessary? Rita, your intention like ring true for me, so I'm bringing you up again, is I find sometimes people right now, because of how we're in such this like easy, like one click getting what we want kind of world now, is people don't figure things out on their own anymore. They're immediately like, well, I want the answer right now. I do this in my life. I think I just do it too to like help my brain stay good as I get older. It's like, oh, who wrote that song? I hear it on the radio, or that quote and I knew it. Instead of immediately going to my phone to like figure out what it is, I sit and I like be like, okay, there's a part of my brain that remembers that. I find so often we think we need everything in that moment that we don't give ourselves the opportunity to just be. And I find that then that infiltrates with other people in our lives, that they're immediately like, I need this from you. I need, call me if you have an emergency. And then some people's emergencies, quotation marks there, don't seem to be emergencies. So for me, making commitments in my time management, telling the people in my life when I'm not available. Now, yes, ladies, there are emergencies happen. There are things that happen. And that's when we actually get to be in our power and we have to, take care of the situation. But I think sometimes we make certain situations not as actually big as they are because we're thinking of these situations in our thinking brain, that worry part of our brain, that fear-based part of our brain. What if I'm not there? What could go wrong? What? And if we root down, we use that solar plexus chakra to get present, then we can start setting containers and more flow can happen in our lives, whether we're working moms, whether we're taking care of other people, whether we just seem to be that woman that everybody comes to for the problems. Whatever it is, how can we start to honor our time as sacred? We all get the same amount of hours in a day, and how can they be more sacred? And how can we actually start to say no in a way that gives that other person an ability for them to say yes to themselves? How can we start to say no to that other person so it gives them an ability to say yes to themselves? I've been doing a lot of boundary work with my women in my sacred sisterhood right now. It's something that I will be teaching in my Wise and Well circle as well, because I find it's really important. A lot of times a true authentic no actually leads to a true authentic yes. An inauthentic no leads to an inauthentic yes. Root chakra, time management, bam. All right, ladies, so now you've gotten this. I'm going to give you just a few moments. And Nancy is going to also put these questions to journal in the chat box. And you might have been kind of journaling as we've been talking here. But these are the 3 questions I want you to look at. Which of your chakras, as I went through these, are out of alignment? And this is where I don't want you to think about it. I want you to just write them down. Now, if you're like, Tracy, I'm a hot mess, they're all out of alignment. You can do a 1 to 10 level scale, which a lot of my clients like. So 1 meaning they are really depleted, and 10 meaning they're super amplified. They're really in alignment. And you can go through all of them on a 1 to 10 scale if that works for you. If you're like, oh, that thing you said about throat chakra, bam, get it. Also, look at which ones are the most out of alignment, because more than likely, those are the ones you need to pay attention to. And sometimes, if you notice when I mentioned, if we align our intuitive chakra more, then it helps us flow through our throat chakra better. So maybe we think our throat chakra is out of alignment, but if our third eye chakra gets in alignment, our throat chakra will work better. Now, this is going to be the 2 questions, number 2 and 3, that I want you to talk about in your breakout rooms. I'm going to let you bullet point a few things here journaling, but I want you to have some juicy questions about this. And then this is where I mentioned use today and then find a sacred time to explore these. The 8-8 Lions Gate, it's a really great time to be open to energy. Doesn't matter what you spiritually believe in. It's just a really powerful day. It's coming up on Monday. So this could be a day to come back to your Wise Working Women journal and see these messages deeper. So the lessons you can learn from the challenges in these chakras. If you noticed when I shared my story about several, I shared lessons. I shared lessons I learned. There's a few lessons I have been learning right now, right? I shared about that sacral chakra, creating my safe container, I shared I was not feeling grounded in my business anymore. And so the lesson was I had to create a stronger container for time management. And then number 3, what do you need to find, alignment in these to amplify the rest of the year? So for me, I look at, do I need more support? Do I need to let it go? Or do I need to delegate? Support, let it go, delegate. I have let go certain programs that I used to run because they just don't serve me anymore. That didn't mean they didn't, right? We graduate from high school, and then we let go of that experience. We go to college, we let go of that one. We just get to grow. It's not like we're letting things go and we're firing them, but also I think sometimes we can let go of certain things we keep saying to ourselves. How can we let that go? Is there a thought you keep saying to yourself that's sabotaging or that's keeping you in procrastination? So let go, get more support, or delegate. And I'm just going to give us a moment here to explore what these are for you. And again, bullet point here. And Nancy hopefully has dropped those into the chat, because in a moment I'm going to come on back into the room.
I did. They're there.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
So I'm going to let you ladies journal for just a moment. And then I'm going to be putting us into breakout room. So I'll leave the slide up for just one more minute. All right, ladies, and they're in the chat box now. I'm just going to come off of screen share. So I can see all your faces. And I'm going to start to create the breakout rooms while you continue to journal a little bit. We're going to have 3 participants per room. We're going to have 15 minutes in the breakout room. So I want to, that gives you about 5 minutes each to share and like bounce ideas off of each other. So I encourage you, find someone that just can keep time, but I'll be popping in the messaging just to share with you when the time is up. But I want us to have some juicy conversations about this. Again, I mentioned like look at 2 and 3 with each other, because I think you might be able to mastermind with each other. We're going to have a breakout room at the end too, is my intention, where we can kind of bring this full circle, but bounce ideas off of each other, use each other. I find that this can be a really great time. As I call it, the idea that we're having in our head can turn into a conversation. The conversation can turn into the breakthrough, right? So let's have some breakthroughs in our conversations. You're going to get a prompt right now to pop on into a breakout room. And you're going to have 15 minutes. So what is that? So that is 30. It's about 33 after the hour, but I'll probably give us till 35. It's just easier that way. So 1:35 Eastern time, we're going to be back.
Which is great. It gives us the time in between for the people to get into the rooms. And
yep, perfect. All right, go have those conversations that lead to breakthroughs, my lovelies.